Prigozhin's answer was not long in coming. As expected, after repeated public accusations, the financier of Wagner PMC refused to cooperate with Shoigu, once again accused the minister of incompetence, and stated that the Ministry of Defense would still ask Wagner PMC for help.
What can happen after this order? We will not be given weapons and ammunition. We will figure it out, as they say, when the thunder breaks out. They will come running and bring weapons and ammunition with a request help. Yevgeny Prigozhin, financier of PMC Wagner.
It is not known what result the Russian Ministry of Defense was counting on. In fact, Prigozhin cannot be held accountable in any way for refusing to obey Shoigu's order, because the financier of Wagner PMC openly declares that he does not obey him. In addition, Putin's chef has a large media resource that he can use to get additional support among Russians. According to experts, at the moment Prigozhin manages to mobilize a small part of the population. Therefore, for now, the Kremlin does not see him as a threat to itself.
As soon as he tries to really get into public politics, he will have a conflict in general with the systems that Vladimir Putin has built. If this suddenly happens, then either Prigozhin will be immediately trampled down, or if this does not happen, they do not stop, then the system is dead. Then it will be a statement that a truly full-scale collapse of the Russian ruling class as a kind of single entity has begun.
At the same time, Putin does not seek to unleash an open conflict between the two armed groups. Such public enmity between different centers of power is not characteristic of the Russian regime. For more than 20 years, almost all conflicts within the Putin vertical have been behind the scenes. In the current situation, experts say, the hostility between the Ministry of Defense and PMCs will only flare up more strongly.
Yes, I think that the conflict between PMC, Wagner and the Ministry of Defense will grow. The actions of Sergei Shoigu clearly show that the Ministry of Defense really wants to seize control of the Wagner PMC and remove Yevgeny Prigozhin. Yevgeny Prigozhin fought against this for several months and will continue to fight against it. And we have already seen this statement of this Lieutenant Colonel Vinivitin in a direct military conflict. Accordingly, most likely the situation will only worsen.
Earlier, the PMC Wagner kidnapped the colonel of the Russian regular troops, Vinivitin, because his fighters mined the retreat routes for the PMC. The officer was beaten and forced to apologize on camera. A few days after his release, he spoke about regular cases of kidnapping, torture and rape of soldiers, theft of equipment from regular army, and even the actual slave trade by Wagner fighters.
There were cases when fighters were kidnapped and tried to exchange them for ammunition. They were forced to store, killed and wounded. They were simply used as laborers, like slaves.
Such confrontation within the armies of states that call themselves developed have not happened before in modern history. Therefore, analysts and world media are closely watching what the conflict will lead to. Reported by Roman Smoler, Danilo Kobza, UATV News.